Hello friends, Jai Shri Ram. Many of you must be facing this issue that you think you cannot make a good resume or a good cover letter. So let me break down the things to you, and also in the video description you will find the link to a template for making a resume. And it's a very generic word template. It's free of cost. It is there for the community. Try and make a good resume, fly high in your career. So this is how I make my resume. This is my resume. I usually write my name at the top, my contact details towards the right. Now I have certain certificates and that's why they are mentioned over here. If you don't have them, feel welcome to skip that part. Now this is basically what? This is basically just a table having border which is transparent. So that is why it gets organized in a nice way. You don't have to worry about it. In the template that I'll give you, now here that table is already in place. So this is that table. Okay. Now, if you have certificates, put them over here. They'll come nicely at the center. Okay. Then your summary should start. Your summary should have one or two lines in it. And then certain T-shaped skills have to be mentioned. T-shaped means what? So for example, in agile scaling models, I have very strong experience. That means a deep experience in Safe and Spotify, but I have sparse experience, a little experience on other things as well, a wide variety of other things like Scrum at Scale, Less, and Disciplined Agile. Okay, similarly for every domain, for domain, my strong skills are banking and AI, and the other domains that I also know about are logistics, manufacturing, etc. Got the idea? So you have to mention this T-shaped skills. This is very important because when somebody is taking your interview, they want to know what is this candidate all about. So in the first line, you have mentioned that I'm basically looking out for a management role, and I'm also having these all T-shaped skills. So suppose the job description requires Flexbox, then they should be aware that I know about Flexbox, but it's not my forte. It's not the biggest skill that I have. My skill set is usually stronger with respect to Ionic, Angular, Java, JS. So basically, I'm a developer. I'm not a designer, but I know about designing. So if you have a designing project, then probably I can have a little learning curve, but I'm good at that. I can learn it because I know all these things. So I can learn it quickly. So don't fake it to the interviewer. Let the interviewer know what exactly are your skills right in the beginning. Then the next thing is this is my primary skill set and a little knowledge about my primary skill set, and this is my secondary skill set and the knowledge about it. So I have given it to you in the template that your primary skill and a little description about it, maybe in 10 lines or so, one paragraph, and your secondary skills, again, one paragraph, 10 lines. Then you should mention about your companies right in the beginning. Why do I do that? Because this helps the HRs. Because when an HR tries to find the gap in your employment, then this thing really helps them out. That see, there is no gap in the employment. And that is what you get to know here. Another important thing is in the companies, try to give a hyperlink over here so that you can, I mean, if whosoever is interviewing you, they can directly go to the website of the company, because there are so many companies having similar names nowadays. So just to avoid confusion, give a hyperlink to their official website. Also mention the city in which you worked for that particular company. For example, I worked in this company at Nagpur as well as the same company in Pune. So I mentioned it that although the company was the same, the working location was different. Then you should mention about your designation, about your role. What is designation? What is role? Designation means ओहदा जो कंपनी आपको देती है. तो ओहदा तो देखो मेरे बहुत सारे हो चुके हैं, जैसे एंगेजमेंट मैनेजर. बट काम क्या करता था मैं? दैट इज माई रोल. वॉट वर्क आई डिड वॉज दैट ऑफ अ Scrum Master. So I was always a Scrum Master. Since last 7 years, I'm a Scrum Master, but my designation kept on growing. Initially, I was a associate projects. Then I was a software product engineer. Then I became engagement manager. Now I'm a lead consultant. But ultimately, what is the role that I'm into? I'm basically into middle management. I've always been a Scrum Master. I'm still a Scrum Master. So that's my, uh, what do you call it? That's my role. So role hardly changes. But what changes is your designation, your salary, everything changes. But your role usually stays the same. But along with that role, your responsibilities keep on adding. For example, when you're an engagement manager, you should also be trying to improve the business there, or you should be trying to understand that engagement means any customer. So you should understand the customer better. You should try to bring in more value for your base company from that customer, or you should understand their bottlenecks and try to be partners with them, and try to solve their problems, solve their bottlenecks by process improvement. So that is what an engagement manager, Scrum Master would do. A normal Scrum Master having 6 years experience will only take care of his team, and I think that is more than sufficient for a 6 years experienced person. But if we have 10 plus years of experience, then what is expected out of you is to bring business to your base company from that particular client, understand that client better, try to solve their problems, try to make them grow in their domain. So that is being partners with the customer. That is what is expected out of you. Then achievements. Now these achievements are like, this is nothing but my work experience. So I've just given it the title as achievements. Feel welcome if you want to give it work experience. Feel welcome to do that. Now here I'm giving, since such a year, I'm working at so and so company, city, working for so and so client, using so and so agile methodology. So this so and so methodology can be either Scrum at Scale, or Safe at and Spotify, or only Spotify, or only Safe. It can be anything. Also, you'll understand that I have not mentioned my experiences before 2015, because the current year is 2025. I have given experience of 10 years. So in the last 10 years, I've worked with these three companies, and I think that is more than sufficient. Even before that, I have 7 years of experience. But I don't want to grow this resume beyond a proportion. And besides, at that time, whatever I did, it is irrelevant now, because I used to be a developer. So as a developer, whatever I was doing, that does not cater to the job description now. So now I'm working as a manager. The job role that I'll search for is also manager. So whatever experience I have into management, only that much I have mentioned. Rest of the experience I have skipped. But let us say that you have only 6 years of experience, then mention all your experience. Okay. So I have given this table also over here: achievements since so and so year, so and so company. When I say company, also into bracket you mention the city also, and then for so and so client, and using so and so agile methodology. Okay, so mention only one of them, of course, whichever you have worked on for that particular client engagement. Then comes degrees and certifications. So here your topmost degree in whichever branch or faculty of whichever college of whichever city, and when did you get that degree, that has to be mentioned. Now if you're an ME, that is Masters of Engineering, then obviously you should not say, oh, I'm BE as well, Bachelor of Engineering as well, oh, I'm 12th standard passed as well, oh, I'm 10th standard passed as well. Don't do that. Just give your highest degree. This is again important for the HRs. So HRs usually see this uh, before inviting you for an interview, or maybe when you join the company. Then basic formalities are already done by the HR. Sometimes the HR passes on this responsibility on to the candidates, and you have to fill all your details. But sometimes the HR is really good, and they're very accommodating, and they try to fill in as many details as they already know about you. So in that case, they'll get that detail from here, that what is the topmost degree that you possess. Then only those certifications are to be mentioned which are relevant for the job that you are applying for. So if I'm applying for a management job, then suppose I have a certification on, let us say, social service, it's irrelevant. Don't mention it here. If you still want to mention something, then maybe you mention it in extra curriculum. Now here I have used the word brag, because this is literally bragging. You can literally skip this entire segment It's not needed. But for those people who are in the habit of bragging a little more, that, oh, I have done this as well as that, as well as that. So if you are that kind of a person, don't try to change yourself. I'm not saying you should change yourself. Any personality is not good or bad. It's what you are. If you don't want to change it, it's okay. Then at least don't keep it under degree and certifications. If something is irrelevant to the job description, then put it in extra curriculum. And if you're a very minimalistic person, and if you don't want to put all these things, then if you just want to keep the resume as crystal clear as possible, then skip this extra curriculum segment altogether. By the way, I did not skip it. I have it in my resume because, see, it was about copyright during my college days. So who does a copyright during those days? Yeah, come on, it's a huge achievement in my eyes. And also, I was a journalist for a company. That's also a huge thing for me. I think I could have made a very good career as a journalist as well. So these are very close to my heart. So I wanted to mention them somewhere, but I could not mention it in degree and certifications. So I mentioned them under extra curriculum. And at the end, you have availability. So what is your notice period? This is a very important thing that many people skip in their resume. So please mention your notice period. You should also mention that your current employer is so and so company from so and so city, so and so state, so and so country. Okay. And here's an example. And you should say, what is your citizenship? Do you require a visa if you want to relocate? So should the visa be sponsored? So yeah, the visa has to be sponsored. Also, you're giving preferred locations. So either I want to work, if it is in India, then I want to work only in Pune city. But if it is abroad, then also I have preferences. Do not say that you send me anywhere, sir, I'll manage. No, that is wrong. Give a preference, because quite frankly, you will not join the company if they ask you to go to, let us say, Mongolia. You won't go there. Or maybe some very shitty country in the Middle East. You will never go there. Like, for example, Syria. It's a war-torn country. Will you risk your life and go in Syria at this time especially? No, you won't. So if that is the case, mention it clearly. See, I want Europe, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, Americas, or maybe just the Northern America. That means either US or Canada. That is all that my preferences are all about. Do not send me to Middle East. I have already mentioned it. I have not mentioned any Middle Eastern country. So it's obvious. Please don't give me a Middle Eastern assignment. I'm not going to go there. But rest means English speaking countries, I love to go there. There's no problem there. Okay. And if not, then within India, if you want to send me to Delhi, Bangalore, I'm not going anywhere. Within India, Pune is my priority. Mention this very clearly somewhere, and I've mentioned it at the end because usually you should show flexibility towards the top of the interview, and this kind of a thing is not flexible, right? You're showing a little stubbornness. So that stubbornness has to be usually in a place where the interviewer won't see that, but the HR will see it, and legally you have already told them. So for that, usually disclaimers are given right at the bottom, or terms and conditions, usually those things where you have to have a very hard talk. Usually those sections are towards the end of the document. And here also in your resume, also I'm mentioning these things right at the bottom, where they won't notice that I'm a very stubborn guy in this regard. Then they won't notice so much, because mostly they'll go through the resume from the top. Then you should also mention what languages you're fluent in, and if you are a reservation candidate, for example, if you come under reservation category and you're applying for a job which can consider your reservation status, then do mention that. This line is completely optional. If you want, you can have it. If you don't want, feel welcome to drop it. Okay. At the end, you should have the date, you should have the city in which you are while you are writing this resume, and then your name. And now when you take a printout and when you submit this to the HR for the job interview, then you should ideally sign it on top of your name, so that all the information that I've published is absolutely true to the best of your knowledge and belief. Some people even give a disclaimer here at the bottom. So the title will be disclaimer, and they mention this, that all the information furnished here is true to the best of my knowledge and belief. If you want, do give that. If not, see, I personally don't keep those sections which are absolutely unnecessary or they are obvious. Of course, if I'm signing it, of course it's to the best of my knowledge and belief, so why would I lie in a resume? It's obvious, so I don't mention it. But some people like to have that disclaimer section as well. So this is how typically your resume should be. Now the main problem is how to have these fonts and this kind of a structure, like my face is there and it takes only this much of part. So the way to do it is to use tables without borders. I've already done this. This template is there free of cost for you. Feel welcome to use them. And this is that template. I leave a link in the video description to this Word file. It's a Word file. Now when you give it in an email, then please convert it to a PDF. So the way to do it is you can save it as, and then you call it so you call it as a PDF document. Got the idea? So please save it as a PDF, and then you give it to the HR for joining the company. So that is all. This is how you basically make a resume. Now a few sections can be deleted if you want to make a cover letter. In cover letter only this upper part is the same, it stays there. Summary stays there, your face stays there. What does not stay is this first primary skill. You can skip that. Secondary skill, you can skip that. Companies you keep, achievements you can skip that, and maybe degrees and certifications you can keep. Extra curriculum, availability, it's up to you whether you want to keep it. I would normally keep degree and certification, and availability. In availability also I'll only mention the notice period and the current employer. So that would be my cover letter. Okay, and of course this last thing, the date, place, and name always stays. So cover letter should ideally fit in one page, and resume should be around 3 pages is okay. Some people have a single page resume. It looks fancy, but it does not convey enough information. So even when I am interviewing somebody, I would prefer to have resumes which have at least 3 pages. Now at least 3 means I don't want your resume to be 10 pages long. It's not a portfolio, it's just a resume. So 3 pages is the maximum. Okay, usually it is 1 page, 2 page, or 3 page. Okay, and cover letter has to be 1 page long. So if it is getting longer than that, then feel welcome to remove certain lines from here, or remove certain lines from degree and certification. So probably these certifications are so old that they are not needed anymore, so you can skip that. The only 3 certifications that really matter are these, and if you're already giving it at the top, then you don't need to mention them here. Then just make it degree and just mention the first line. That is more than sufficient. Okay, so try to make it as small as possible, and try to fit it in 1 page if you're writing a cover letter. But this section has to be there on the top where people will contact you. So this is my home address, my phone number, my email, my LinkedIn profile ID, and my YouTube profile ID, because I've mentioned that I'm a YouTuber as well. And this is my home's, my family's website on which you'll get to know more about me. So if you have your personal website, do mention it. And all this has to be mentioned towards the top right corner, where, or any one corner of your resume. Usually people keep it at the top right corner, where it makes it very easy for the HR to contact you. Okay, so this is all. Do let me know what you feel about this video and all the other videos that I'm making. If there's any topic on which you want me to make a video, do let me know in the comment section. And until next time, this is Amit signing off. Jai Shri Ram. Thank you so much for seeing the video till the end. It does mean a lot to me. Could you also please see the video description? It has index, link to the study material, and also if I've shown any products in this video, then the purchase links to those products. The comment section is open for your suggestions and also for your doubts. I always answer to the first 100 comments on every single video. If you want to support my work, here's my QR code, or my UPI ID is amit.shirasao@UPI. Until next time, this is Amit signing off. Jai Shri Ram.